Teachers are worried about robots taking over, but somehow it still takes me 10 minutes to figure out how to get the copier to print double-sided and stapled at the same time. So do we really need to be worried? Welcome back to the Teacher's Lounge. This is a special edition, a little long format, because I received a comment from a teacher anonymously saying that they are worried about AI replacing teachers. So we're doing a special sit down, and I've invited two leaders from our school system, Dr. John Rodarmer and Mr. John Parker, to talk about AI in the classroom. And we're here to unpack this. So thank you guys for both being here today.
Our pleasure.
Absolutely.
And a quick poll before we start. Who here has used AI to draft a parent email?
I have not.
I mean,
I
no,
don't know
never.
that I
I've
have
never.
for a parent email.
I've never done that.
Have I used
it
AI?
as a productivity tool.
Productivity tool. We're going to put that
I'm
in
gonna
quotes.
stick to that.
You're going to, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, for lesson plans, it's wonderful. It makes things
Right.
just so much
All manner of
easier.
things.
All right, so when you guys hear that some teachers are actually concerned about AI replacing teachers, what's your reaction to that?
It's understandable because it's in our face every day. We hear it every time you turn on the news or whatever social media app you turn on. It's constantly, AI is going to revolutionize everything, and I think for teachers, we can probably lower the temperature on that. I think, teaching is it's a full contact sport. It's not a simulation, and you can't simulate what takes place in a classroom. And there's something to being present and learning from another human being that just is irreplaceable. Like I don't in any way think that that's possible, at least from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So we can stop there, teachers. We're good. We love you.
Well, thanks for joining us.
All right. What do you think, John?
I would follow up on that with just, there's so much research out there that shows the effectiveness of a good teacher and how having a good teacher can really set someone's life in a path, in a direction of, future success and all of those things. And so, while we have this whole idea that AI can do this and AI can do that, well, just because you can do something doesn't mean that we should.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I would argue that nothing is ever going to be able to replace that relationship, that care, that concern, those things that great teachers have for their students. It's just not going to ever be able to be replaced by it in the most effective way
Mm-hmm.
for the student success with a bot of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, the example that I can think of immediately is, state law now requires that we have literacy screeners.
Mm-hmm.
For every child K through 3, we got to do it 3 times a year. It's an intensive process to do that. So the state purchased a screener and offered it for free, to all systems. So we specifically chose not to use that because it is an AI version. It is an AI screener.
Okay.
We chose to stick with Dibbles, which is something that we've been using for a long time, simply based on the fact that you cannot replicate. There's a couple things going on there when you're screening. You're learning about whatever deficiencies a child may have in literacy, but also on the other end, that teacher is learning as well. Like they are actively learning and responding to that child's need already. So I don't think you can automate that process. And we certainly, in this system, that's not part of what we do. Like I want less screen time if possible, we've bought books, we bought workbooks. That doesn't mean our kids still have Chromebooks, and we still want them to be able to function in the real world, and we know that they're going to encounter AI. We want them to know how to use it effectively as a tool to possibly make their life easier or advance themselves in some way. But it's not something that we are really leaning into in any way, shape, or form to replace the human being in the classroom.
Absolutely. And that actually transitions perfectly to our next question is, do you think students are more prepared or less prepared for their future because of AI? I mean, I remember when we were in high school, if you didn't know a math problem, that was it. You just didn't answer that question. You had to ask your teacher. But now you can take a picture of the formula and it comes up with the answer to you. Right. So would they students be more prepared or less prepared because they don't know how to do those certain things, or they're more prepared where they know where the technology is going and they're becoming used to it? It's like a double-edged sword almost.
It is. You go first,
John. I would say it's like everything else. The human element is always going to be able to oversee always is a rough term, but the human element is vitally important to what happens. So, yes, could AI solve the math problem for you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the AI is not going to give you the comprehension skills. It's not going to give you the overall things that it's going to help you get an answer, but it's not going to help you work through the processes and sometimes work through the struggle that not knowing the math problem is going to get you. I also think it's like any other technology, right? There was a while when we refused to let children use calculators when those first came to be.
Yeah.
There was a while when it was like, there's no way that every single kid is going to have some type of device in their hand.
Biggest lie I've ever been told.
And here we go, right? Like we hand out Chromebooks. Like it's things that, over time we in education will learn how to adapt to what is going on here. But again, the teaching, the human element inside the classroom is so vitally important to helping kids learn how to get through the struggle of I don't know how, and I need something to show me. And that is what teachers provide.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a tool that is without a doubt going to be part of their lives for this generation of kids for the foreseeable future. And parts of their lives will be automated. Mm-hmm. We have robots in the schools that clean the floors. That was a necessity for us just because it was very hard to find people to do that work. So I think if there is absence of in certain industries where they can't find people to do the work, then they will go that route. That's not happening in our profession right now. People still are actively called to do this work and want to do it and enjoy it and know the importance of it. And, we freaked out. We've been freaking out over technology since Socrates. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't want you to write anything down, Plato, because that's going to make your mind weak. We've been going through this cycle since then and probably well before then. And, we'll figure it out, and we'll know eventually the best way to use this technology to enhance our lives. But humanity is still there in this profession and always will be.
Oh, absolutely. And you kind of touched on this already, but the district is going to, I would assume, as this technology advances and becomes more integrated with our lives, the district would be have phase to prepare teachers and students for this big shift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We started some professional development on it last year, right? Mm-hmm. We had our ITS folks come in. Their team did a great job. Selena and Alex and did some stuff with our teachers here. I would say that Rick Williams is one of those people that he has utilized those tools completely to his advantage. And I think that's it, right? It's a utilization of tools, right? We used to build houses with hand tools, right? Now we have better machinery that helps us do those things. Technology makes it faster, better, more secure, all those things. I think that AI can be that same thing for us. We just have to know how to use it the right ways.
Absolutely. I mean, personally, I think once it starts replacing your critical thinking,
Yeah.
that's where it's getting a little gray area for me. Like
Absolutely.
organization, stuff like that,
Yeah.
help me do things faster, sure, but leave the thinking to myself and my students,
Yeah.
right? So if you look 10 years into the future, like in a perfect world, integrating AI into the classroom and stuff like that with teachers, what would we do? How would it look?
Well, I will be on a couch somewhere taking a nap because I'm old and I will be retired. But John will still be here, probably advancing us forward because he is much
the
more
general
youthful.
hope, right?
That's a great question. Going back to your critical thinking statement, I think that's a good foundational place to start from. But there will be processes that will disappear inevitably.
Mhm.
That's just what happens. That's hard to say because I don't think anything has ever moved quite this fast.
Yeah.
Technologically, the internet took a while to really get off the ground, decades really, and it has certainly changed our lives, and this is the next iteration of that. But it is, it's growing at a rate that I don't think we can even comprehend right now. So I don't know, John. What is your generation?
So
this problem?
I think we're still the same
Help me help
generation,
you.
John.
Are we?
I
I'm
think
Generation
so.
X. Big guy, you're a millennial. Brian?
Zennial. We're
What are
Zennials.
you? Zennials?
Yeah, I'm right there on the fringe. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Early
So,
80s.
if I look 10 years in the future, what my hope and my goal for education would be is that we are continuing to utilize the things at our disposal, on our tables every single day, to be able to continue to help children grow in the areas where they want to be, help them be the best version of themselves that they can be. And again, I don't think a bot is something that's going to help them do that. So if you're asking me where do I think it'll be in 10 years, I think AI is going to be a tool.
Mhm.
Maybe it revolutionizes the way that we take attendance.
Mhm.
Maybe it does stuff for school safety. Maybe it does things that helps us run our organization better. But I would say, like our superintendent says all the time, the most important thing we do in our school system happens in our classrooms every day. And that is what happens between teachers and students and the learning process that goes on. And so any tools that we can have to help that be better, absolutely. We're going to look into those. We're going to try to invest in those. And we're going to make your job as an educator easier to help students get where they want to be. But the goal would not to be to take you out of that classroom.
100%.
I still think kids are going to be thinking critically. You're going to have the opportunity to refine those ideas. Hopefully on the back end of that process, and just elevate what you've already made a decision about. But I don't know. I never imagined, 28 years ago that a classroom would look like this,
Mhm.
like this classroom does. I never could have conceived of this. So, and the kids are always 100 steps ahead of us. So,
Absolutely.
and they got big problems to tackle.
Yeah. The actual quote from the teacher that sent me this was, I don't want to be replaced by a machine that doesn't know my kids. And that's true. A bot can't give empathy or sincerity or show up to your basketball game to support you or anything like that. So that's where the human element of being a teacher is has far greater impact than an AI would or a bot would.
And to that point, I would say that is what makes the difference. And, when you have an impact on someone and they are doing something in their life because of one phrase that you said
Mhm.
when they were in third grade, when they were in third class in 11th grade, whatever that may and you have that conversation 10 years later, that's not replaceable. You know, when they're 28 and they've got 2 kids and they come back to you and they say, hey, I am doing this with my life because of you. And look at how I am growing and building and all of these things. And I feel successful. And you had a major role in that. That's powerful. And that's what teachers do.
Exactly.
I guess to if I could put them at ease further, like to bring concrete data, like to go back to the literacy screener. I've been watching that AI screener because it's been in several systems across the state for a few years now. And there's been much hype about it, and people, this was going to revolutionize reading across the board. And to this point, that is not the case. I'm watching the systems that are using it, and they continue to do this. And in our system, where it is still a very human process, our on grade level reading percentage in Floyd County continues to do this. So, the facts just don't support that narrative. AI is not coming in here to take any teacher's job.
Absolutely. 100% get you. So, here's the takeaway for all that. AI has become part of our toolkit, which we talked about.
Yes.
But teaching has not been about tools necessarily. It's been about people,
Yes.
connection, and purpose, and no bot or algorithm can replicate that whatsoever. It's that human element. So before we leave, one segment we have here on the Teachers Lounge is a staff meeting in a sentence. Because if you have to be in a meeting, it better be short. So the staff meeting in a sentence is AI can support us, but it's our passion and care that shapes students' lives. That is our staff meeting in a sentence.
Love it.
So, gentlemen, I want to thank you for being guests on the Teachers Lounge, and this has been very informative. And maybe we can do this again sometime on a different topic.
Anytime.
Thank you for
I'll be
having
here
us.
all week.
Thank you very much. So if this helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, especially if they're scared about robots taking over our jobs. It's not going to happen. And if you've got an issue that you want solved in less time than a staff meeting, please DM me or send me something anonymously. Our form is anonymous and in our Instagram bio if you'd like to fill that out. And remember, this lounge is for you, and I am Mr. Williams. And no, you're not going crazy. You're just in education.